Nature's beauty can quickly turn to terror. Today, on Nature's Amazing Wonders, we explore one of Earth's most powerful forces, tornadoes. These swirling columns of wind can flatten towns and claim lives in minutes, reminding us of the planet's raw power. We'll revisit 5 of the most terrifying tornadoes ever recorded. From America's deadliest storm to a devastating twister in Bangladesh, these are stories of destruction, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. Join me as we journey into the heart of the storm to witness nature's ultimate fury. Our journey begins on March 18, 1925, before Doppler radar or tornado warnings. That day, the Midwest faced a storm of unprecedented scale, a tornado that carved a 219-mile path of destruction. It began in Missouri as a severe thunderstorm, but soon a dark, churning mass descended. Moving at nearly 70 miles per hour, there were no sirens, just a deafening roar like a freight train. Eyewitnesses described a boiling black cloud hugging the ground, not the classic funnel shape. The tornado crossed the Mississippi River and slammed into southern Illinois, unleashing its greatest fury. Gorham was obliterated in minutes, Murfreesboro devastated, entire neighborhoods wiped away. Unlike most tornadoes, this one stayed on the ground for over 3 hours, a relentless outbreak. The stories are harrowing, teachers shielding students, families torn apart in an instant. In its wake, 695 dead, over 2,000 injured, and 15,000 homes destroyed. The deadliest tornado in U.S. history. The tri-state tornado was more than a weather event. It was a turning point. Photographs from 1925 reveal a world reduced to splinters, the ground scoured clean. The tri-state tornado stands alone for its path, duration, and death toll. Its legacy, a brutal lesson in humility before nature, sparking advancements that would save countless lives. The storm's memory endures, a haunting reminder of the power above. Now we travel to Bangladesh, a nation vulnerable to nature's extremes. On April 26, 1989, the deadliest tornado in world history struck, the Daulatpur Saturia tornado. This was not about property loss, but an unimaginable loss of life. Bangladesh's geography creates a crucible for severe weather, and that day, a mile-wide tornado descended on the Maniganj district. The region's makeshift homes, mud, tin, thatch, offered no protection. The tornado moved slowly, maximizing destruction, stripping trees and tossing homes and people hundreds of yards. When the winds subsided, the landscape was unrecognizable, a wasteland of debris and mud. The human toll, an estimated 1,300 lives lost in minutes, entire families vanished, and 80,000 left homeless. The true number may never be known. Survivors describe the sky turning black, a terrifying noise, and their world erased in a violent blur. The aftermath was catastrophic: no clean water, food, or shelter, and a massive refugee crisis. The international response was overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster. Survivors searched for loved ones with their bare hands. The trauma was immeasurable, a scar on a nation already familiar with hardship. This tornado highlights a tragic reality: the deadliest disasters often strike the most vulnerable. In a region with no warning systems or storm shelters, a tornado is a death sentence. The Daulatpur Saturia tornado remains the deadliest ever recorded. It's a stark reminder that the impact of a storm is measured in lives, not just wind speed. In Bangladesh, nature's power and fragility coexist in a delicate, often tragic balance. This event stands as a somber testament to the lethal potential of a single storm. It changed the course of countless lives in a matter of minutes. The world watched and learned from this humanitarian catastrophe. Back in the US, even with modern technology, nature can still overwhelm us. On May 22, 2011, Joplin, Missouri, faced one of the deadliest and costliest tornadoes in modern history. The storm was a classic supercell, showing all the signs of a killer on radar. The National Weather Service issued a warning 20 minutes before impact, a significant lead time. But this was no ordinary tornado, a multi-vortex EF5 nearly a mile wide, with winds over 200 miles per hour. It tore through Joplin's most populated areas, dismantling the city with surgical precision. Buildings were scoured from their foundations, steel twisted, cars tossed like toys. The path a 6-mile scar through the city. St. John's Regional Medical Center took a direct hit. Windows shattered, the building shifted off its foundation. Inside, staff shielded patients, displaying incredible heroism. The tornado leveled entire neighborhoods in seconds. Survivors described the sound as a physical, grinding sensation, the city being chewed up and spit out. In the aftermath, 161 dead, over 1,000 injured, and nearly $3 billion in damage. 7,500 homes destroyed, thousands left homeless. Stories of survival and loss emerged. People hiding in closets, bathtubs, and basements, emerging to find their world gone. The high death toll, despite warnings, raised questions about warning fatigue and the challenge of comprehending such a massive threat. Joplin's recovery was remarkable. Volunteers poured in, new homes and a hospital rose from the rubble, but the emotional scar remains. The Joplin tornado is a modern story of destruction, resilience, and the limits of our defenses. It forced us to rethink how we respond to warnings and disasters. The lessons learned have shaped emergency response nationwide. Joplin's story is a testament to the power of community and the unpredictability of nature. Even in the 21st century, we are sometimes powerless before the storm. The city rebuilt, but the memory of that day endures. Joplin stands as a warning and an inspiration for us all. Imagine nearly 150 tornadoes striking in just 24 hours. This was the super outbreak of April 3rd, 1974, an event of unimaginable scale. 13 U.S. states and 1 Canadian province were under siege. A perfect storm, warm, moist air from the Gulf collided with cold, dry air, all under a powerful jet stream. The result, 148 confirmed tornadoes, including 30 rated F4 or F5. One F5 tornado devastated Xenia, Ohio. Winds over 260 miles per hour, the downtown erased. Another F5 carved a 121-mile path across Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, leveling Brandenburg, Kentucky. The tragedy was spread across hundreds of miles and dozens of towns. The outbreak was relentless. Warnings came fast, but the sheer volume overwhelmed responders. In many areas, the only warning was the sight of a funnel or the roar of its approach. Over 330 people died, more than 6,000 were injured. The combined path length, over 2,500 miles, a chaotic, destructive scribble across North America. The aftermath was a logistical nightmare. Power out, communication down, communities isolated. The super outbreak became a catalyst for changed Doppler radar, improved warnings, and the Fujita scale. It highlighted the need for nationwide preparedness. The 1974 outbreak remains a benchmark for tornadic events. It showed the atmosphere's terrifying potential to unleash dozens of killer storms at once. For a generation, it was the day the sky fell. The lessons learned transformed meteorology and emergency response. The super outbreak's legacy, a nation forever changed by 24 hours of chaos. It's a reminder that nature's fury can strike anywhere, anytime. Our final story takes us to Moore, Oklahoma, Tornado Alley's heart. On May 20th, 2013, Moore faced the beast, a tornado of immense size and violence. Meteorologists warned of a severe event days in advance, but nothing could prepare the city for what came. The tornado touched down, rapidly growing into a 1.3-mile-wide F5, with winds up to 210 miles per hour. For 39 minutes, it tore through 17 miles of densely populated neighborhoods. Homes were pulverized, entire blocks swept clean from their foundations. The destruction was absolute, a brown scar through a green suburb. Tragically, the tornado struck several schools. At Plaza Towers Elementary, teachers shielded children as the building collapsed. 7 children lost their lives. Briarwood Elementary was also hit, but all survived. The stories from these schools are a mix of tragedy and heroism. The human toll, 24 dead, over 200 injured. Moore had rebuilt after a previous tornado, only to be struck again. The storm was intensely studied, providing valuable scientific data. But for those who lost everything, data was cold comfort. The Oklahoma Standard, resilience, generosity, determination, defined the recovery. Volunteers cleared debris, helped families salvage what they could. The 2013 Moore tornado is a story of heartbreak, heroism, and the unbreakable spirit of a community. Even in a storm-aware city, nature's power can be overwhelming. Tornadoes terrify, but they also teach. From Joplin and Moore to the Tri-State Phantom in Bangladesh, we see more than destruction. We see survival and resilience. These storms have driven scientific advances and forced us to rethink how we build and protect our communities. They remind us we are inhabitants, not masters of this planet. The stories of these 5 tornadoes are etched into our memory for the strength they revealed. If you found this episode eye-opening, let us know in the comments. Have you witnessed a tornado? Which story shocked you most? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more incredible stories of nature's power. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and stay amazed.